I'm John Dalli, here to reveal the truth about elder care. Some of you may have recently read about the repeal of the federal minimum nursing home staffing standards. This just happened about a week and a half ago. These rules had been in place for about 2 or 2.5 years, and it set a floor for the number of aides and nurses and hours of care that residents in nursing homes are required to get if a facility accepts Medicare and Medicaid for payment. So, this is an important issue for a number of reasons. But I want to talk to you a little bit about why these regulations were put in place in the first place. Nursing homes, particularly for profit nursing homes, are businesses. They're in business to make money. And the interests of the owners and the operators of nursing homes are often not aligned with the interests of the residents and their families, particularly how it relates to staffing and the number of people available to provide care for the residents. Even though these minimum staffing requirements were less in many cases than what residents need in a facility, it did at least provide some level of safety, a safety net, if you will, to ensure that there were a minimum number of aides and nurses and care hours per resident each shift in a nursing home. Now, many people ask the question, well, why repeal minimum staffing standards for nursing home? That's a great question. They shouldn't be repealed. So let's dig down a little bit and analyze why they were repealed. The Centers for Medicaid and Medicare Services is the government agency that made the decision to pull these regs. And again, these regs have only been in place for a little bit over 2 years. So let's take a look at why this decision was made, or at least hazard a guess as to why it was made. What the government is now saying is they're going to trust the owners and operators of nursing homes to make the decisions about the care standards in the facility. That means that there's no more federal requirement as to how many aides or nurses are on any given shift at any given time. From a business perspective, this is a boon to the nursing home owners. Now they can decide how many CNAs or how many LPNs or nurses are going to be on a shift, and they can control their expenses that way. But that is often going to be at the expense of the residents themselves, many of whom need so much care that they require two people to care for them just to perform activities of daily living. Another argument made by the nursing homes is that it's hard to attract people to come and work in the facilities. That is absolutely true. But the way to retain and obtain quality employees is to pay them a decent living wage, provide them with benefits, and give them decent working conditions. Nobody wants to work at a job where they're underpaid, overworked, and not appreciated by ownership and management. Nursing home residents deserve to live with dignity and in a safe environment. And the people that care for them in the nursing homes deserve to have a system in place that supports their efforts to provide proper care. The repeal of the minimum staffing requirements goes in the opposite direction. So, what does the repeal of these regulations mean to you if you have a loved one in a nursing home? Well, it means you have to be as diligent as ever. If you have someone in a facility, you have to make sure you're getting there, you're visiting with them, and you have to make sure that your voice is heard by the staff and they know that there's somebody who cares. The repeal of the regulations is going to reduce the amount of caregivers in many facilities. That is a fact. So going forward, I'm concerned, and all of us at Dalli and Marino are concerned about what this means for residents in nursing homes. If you have any questions about the repeal of the laws or have a problem in a nursing home with your loved one, give us a call. We're here to help.